you'll be driving around in a, whether it's a Honda or Toyota or Nissan, and the big traffic snarl is there. Well, just press the button, and you're up, you're out of it. It's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. They have to regulate it. How high you can go 400 feet and don't go over. You 450. They have to organize. But it's absolutely amazing. But is that going to make people any happier? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When planes which are up there and something goes wrong and they start crashing, they say, what did I do this for? I'm going to stay on the ground. Because on the ground, okay, you get hit from behind, you get a fender bender, you get it fixed up. But once you fall from 500 or 1,000 feet, forget it, it's over. There's no hope at all. So saving time and saving effort and saving this and that can sometimes be your death knell. Okay? It is said here that it is incumbent upon the human beings to hear, because the scriptures, like the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, are made for that purpose, to get us out of this miserable hell. And by utilizing them, reading them regularly, and following the instructions, like I was saying, Prabhu, he and his wife is dressing the deity, he's doing the arctic. This is all saying, in effect, to God, you're worth my time. Whereas before, I didn't even think you existed. What to speak of being valuable for my time. So when we give time to Krishna, we're sacrificing, giving up time for the sole purpose of letting Krishna know that he is most important. Radha is a part of that, by the way. Radha, Krishna, they are most important. And when you affirm that through action, not merely words, they hear those actions, they see those actions, and they bless us accordingly. It's not like they just say, well, okay, thanks for the adoration distinction, we'll keep you in mind. That's not the way they function. No, they're keeping you right now in mind. If they see you're doing something very well, you know that how happy, joyful you feel. You see your children, that you're able to deal with their nonsense complaints. You know, I want a Twinkie now, you know, or something like that. Or in the supermarket, and he goes, no, I want a Hershey bar now. I want a Snickers now. And then the kid does a dancing, pulls a tantrum right in the supermarket. Yes. And you know how if they're 4 years old, their voices are it's really loud, and everybody's around, and it's a crowd. Is it child abuse? Has she smacked him? Did you see him get hurt? No, he just wants a Snicker bar. No, I don't think it doesn't sound like a Snicker bar. It sounds like he's on a deathbed. So those are the things that happen. But when you're actually very joyful, very peaceful, very calm, very controlled, you know how to deal with those particular issues. Krishna will give you the inspiration. Sometimes you have to bargain with the kid, and sometimes you just have to give him a few extra hugs. Every child has his own little needs, and I watch you, you bargained with him today. I was watching you. It was a bargain. But she knows how she can get him to do something. Another time there'll be no bargaining. You did it quiet, you do what I say. Otherwise, you're going to get punished. You're not going out. You know, something. That's not her. But the other thing is, so the point is, I take note of all of these things, and it's nice. If you have control, if you have thoughtfulness, calmness, and you're able to deal with these things, Krishna will give you nice. Krishna will give you nice words to say, so that if you just try to do it on your own without Krishna, you're going to have a lot of problems, because you'll use your own material mind, which is still filled with mode of passion, mode of ignorance, and a little goodness, and you don't want to allow that. So that's why we chant, we pray, we associate, and we have a calm, controlled, quiet, focused mind. If you have that, you have nothing to worry about. You just take shelter. Okay, Lord, I'm in a dither, I'm in a difficulty now. Give me some words, give me some thoughts, help me. Yeah, he'll do that. He'll do that. He wants us to come to him. He likes helping. It's like when your kid comes, Mommy, I can't solve this arithmetic problem. I can understand 2 plus 9 equals 11, and then divided by 6, and then multiplied by 20 and 30. It's too much for me. Okay, come here, let me do it part by part by part, and the kid gets it, you see. Okay, moving on. Hearing is solidified by the process of chanting. One who has perfectly heard from the perfect source becomes convinced about the all-pervading personality of Godhead, and thus becomes enthusiastic. I'll read that again. One who has perfectly heard from the perfect source, that means one who is in the disciplic succession. I guess one of the spiritual masters who has gotten it from a spiritual master ultimately comes from the Srila Prabhupada. One who has perfectly heard from the perfect source becomes convinced about the all-pervading personality of Godhead, and thus becomes enthusiastic in glorifying the Lord. All the great acharyas like Ramanuja, Madhva, Chaitanya, Saraswati, Thakur, that's Srila Prabhupada's guru, or even in other countries, Mohammed, Christ, and others, have all extensively glorified the Lord by chanting always and in every place. Because the Lord is all-pervading, it is essential, not optional, it is essential to glorify Him always and everywhere. That's a really heavy-duty statement. How many of us can come up to that? But don't worry about it. If we can't, just the way it says over here, the Lord is open. It is essential to glorify Him always and everywhere. So, in the process of glorifying the Lord, there should be no restriction of time and space. This is called Sanatan Dharma, eternal. Dharma means, it has many meanings, but the main meaning here is it's eternal, eternal purity, or eternal, what is that word? Piety, eternal righteousness, doing things the way Krishna wants them done. Okay? Or Bhagavan Dharma, Bhagavat Dharma. Sanatan means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavat means space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity so eagerly awaited by the people of the world. It's not going to come through all these inventions, not going to come by all these different federal and state and city ordinances and laws and so forth. Those things are all right to make things convenient and comfortable, and so that all people are fairly dealt with. But that has nothing to do with peace. Peace is an inner condition. So if you bump into me or you step on my toe, if I'm not peaceful, if I'm angry, if I'm easily upset, if for example, I had an argument with my dog or with my wife, or the kid kicked me in the shins that morning, I'm in a really angry mood at that moment. And then you bump into me while I'm walking, who are you bumping into? Instead of a person who's peaceful, even if the other person bumped him, he'll still say, "Excuse me, sorry about that." So the person who should be blamed, he sees that this other person is so peaceful and kind, and that he's not even going to get angry at him. So that's the whole idea. People go in on the weekends. We see this all the time. People on the weekends, they go into these bars and they drink, 6, 8 different beers, and they're stoned, completely out. And then 2 men, grown men, they get into a discussion about a baseball team. And one says, well, so-and-so, he batted 400 last year. And the other one says, no, he batted 415. Oh, no, not 450. He batted 4. Is there something out there you have to take care of? No. Oh, okay. He batted 415. No, he put it 450. Who are you telling that? I know what he batted. No, I know what. I'm a fan. I've been a fan for 20 years. Well, I've been a fan for 25 years. You don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'll show you who knows something. Goes outside, goes to the car, opens the trunk, takes out the gun. I'm going to show you who knows something. ha ha, and then he just realizes, hey, I just killed a person. You know, just like I do on my computers. I have all these games. I kill hundreds of people. Well, this is a real person I kill. It's different. You get arrested. But that's what happens. You get so caught up in the ego of wanting to win the win the fight. It's like the story of the guy with the scissors. Okay, quickie. Two men were, if I can remember it, it's very apropos. They're standing and this piece of paper, they're sitting on the beach, and the piece of paper blows in, and it looks like it may have been cut by a scissor, it could have been cut by a knife. So one man, he picks it up, yeah, look at this. He says, probably somebody cut it on the edge here, and then just threw it away. And the other person said, cut it with what? He said, probably with a knife. No, that wasn't cut with a knife, it was cut with a scissor, you can see by the little jagged, no, this was cut with a knife. So look at it over here. No, cut with scissors, knife, scissor, knife, scissor, knife. So one of them, they're ready to hurl her. The other one, he just picks him and throws him into the water. And he's going down, he can't swim. So, he got his finger up. He can't give up. His ego doesn't let him give up. So he goes down dying. Just see what attachment to one's opinions, one's feelings, one's ideas, one's thoughts, and the like are. I'm just about on the last sentence now, because I'm probably holding you. How many are hungry right now? Come on, put up your hands. Tell me the truth.
Nobody will say.
No, nobody. Yeah, she's hungry now. Okay, serve, can leave now. Serve her now. We don't want any slaves here. So we're just finishing now. The Lord is the master of all time and all space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity. I read this so eagerly. When you're peaceful within, instead of answering like that person did, somebody bumped into him and his kid kicked him in the shin, and so he's still not recovering from the